It's the state versus the nation in UAAP Season 85 as the UP Fighting Maroons and the NU Bulldogs are all set to slug it out in the Final Four today. The twice-to-beat Fighting Maroons and the Bulldogs will face off at 2 in the afternoon at the Big Dome, the Smart Araneta Coliseum. It's been a rough stretch for UP lately after losing 2 of their last 3 games. Carl Tamayo, JD Cagulangan, and Terence Fortea have all played hurt and even missed a few games during Season 85. But UP head coach Goldwyn Monteverde says he is upbeat. His players have what it takes to become back-to-back champs. Meanwhile, the Ateneo Blue Eagles and the Adamson Soaring Falcons clash in the Battle of the Birds in the other Final Four matchup. That will be at 6 p.m. Expect Ateneo to go all out in this one despite having the twice-to-beat edge. Adamson, on the other hand, is seeking to pull off an upset and force that do-or-die game against the Blue Eagles. All eyes will be on the UP Fighting Maroons in Season 85 as the Diliman-based squad seeks to win its second straight title in the men's basketball tournament. But first, they have to face the gutsy NU Bulldogs in the Final Four. And joining us right now to go all out on this story before today's game is UP's assistant coach, Christian Luanzon, former analyst here on this show, pero busy sa pagiging lieutenant ni Coach Gold. Coach Chris, good morning. Welcome back to the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, Andre.
No, the pleasure is ours. Thank you for saying yes all the time. Coach, una sa lahat, kakamustahin ko muna ang team. Kamusta ang kanilang aura? Kamusta yung how's the mood, the atmosphere there in UP? You lost, as I said, you lost 2 of your last 3 games. Usually not good for any team entering the playoffs. Pero in a way, syempre, UP is still formidable. You are the defending champions for a reason. Is it a sigh of relief para sa inyo ng NU then also lost 2 of their last 3 games heading into this Final Four matchup?
Well, first of all, Coach Gold told me to say yes because it's Andre Felix, so it's hard to reject, no? Second, the Final Four is different, we played our last game, and I believe NU played their last game almost 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And in terms of parang yung momentum, whether you're on a winning streak or on a losing streak,
Yeah.
I think for both teams, that's out of the window.
Yeah.
For us, at that time, obviously it was a concern as all those games where we won, what was that, 5, 6 straight, and then losing 2 out of 3. Same thing with NU. I'm pretty sure, both sides, yung focus is really on the Final Four. No, and for us, it's just a matter of competing, of preparing. Obviously, we've had that luxury of those days off, almost 2 weeks now to prepare, and hopefully we could execute yung preparations namin later today.
Well, 1-1 naman kayo. You lost the first round, then you beat them in the second round, tong NU. Very consistent naman tong even Galinato, who's been stepping up in his first season here in the seniors. But most notably is Xavier Lucero. I actually saw Xavier, I believe, over the weekend, and I got to meet his sisters who were here for the first time in the Philippines. Mag-vacation daw yung whole family niya. Xavier scored game highs 22 points and 16 in those 2 games against NU, but in the last game against Ateneo, he was 0 of 11. Is there, I know he's playing his final season because he did play 3 years already in the U.S., but is there a coaching, conscious effort, especially from the coaching staff, from your perspective, Coach, galing sa'yo mismo, to motivate Save, to tell him, Save, you've been here before, you won a title last season, you're one of the veterans and also proven, tested guys here in this team. You have to be consistent, especially on both ends, but you can't go 0 of 11, especially against an Ateneo team. But is there like a conscious effort of you reminding and telling Save you're an integral part of this team if you want to go back-to-back?
Not at all. I mean, Xavier knows his importance to this team. He's the type of person that's self-motivated. We've only been together for less than a year. Obviously, this season, 2 seasons in 1 year. He just came in nung January or late December of last year. Sabay sila ni ni Henry. Technically, he's only a sophomore. But to your point, yeah, he's one of the by age, no, because we have a young team by age. He's one of the parang kuyas of the team. And one thing that Zave has really improved on, at least compared to the last season, is really yung kanyang leadership, no, not perfect, just like many, but at the same time, yung being more vocal on the floor, especially on the intangibles.
Yeah.
You know, he's a detail-oriented guy, especially defensively. I think he's going to be a key. Him, along with, Malik, as our anchor, him and Malik, they're going to be keys for us defensively and that front court. And, his family is here, so that adds more for him to be motivated, I'm sure.
Yes, and his sisters, his parents will be watching him for the first time now live here. So I'm sure a lot of excitement on Xavier Lucero's part to a bit of show off for his family later today.
Same thing with Henry.
What's that?
Same thing with Henry. His family is here also.
Okay.
So both of them.
Okay, I see. Henry's family is also here. Okay. So expect Galinato and Lucero to play the inspired basketball. More inspired, that is, today. Well, obviously, yung strength ng NU is inside the paint. Although you were outscored sa first round dito sa loob, 46-26. So plus 20 sila inside points. Then you made the proper adjustments in the second round. Though, nanalo kayo, pero lamang pa rin ng NU doon inside the paint, 32-26. Mas konti yung plus 6 na sila dito inside. Are you expecting NU to be more aggressive than usual? Yung tipong live and die na sila dito inside the shaded area. Pound on our strength. Besides, it's do or die for NU. But do you expect them to still really pound the paint against you guys later?
Every team in the UAAP has their own parang uniqueness, in terms of identity. And I think what's unique about NU is that they play parang a conventional style of play. No, in an era wherein parang pace and space is emphasized, outside shooting and all that, diba? And what you really admire about NU is their grit, their toughness, and which equivalates inside the paint points, so nga ng mga numbers na nabanggit mo. I think it's what's really going to be important for us to win this game is syempre defending the paint and limiting them of getting there. And there's a lot of ways to get there. It's not only, with them hitting the post, or it's even through dribble penetrations, taking care of the ball. It's going to be important for us also to limit yung mga fast break points sila. In the first round, even though this is a team by the numbers, they're not really a running team, pero in the first round, they did a good job of capitalizing on our turnovers. I think we had 20-something in that first round.
Yeah.
So all those stats that you mentioned and the things I added are going to be important for us. It's going to be crucial for us to give ourselves a chance to close this one out today.
Yeah, points of turnovers, 25-14 in the first round.
There you go.
In favor of NU. And in the second round, although kayo naman lumamang 19-11 plus 8 kayo doon. Well, recently, Coach Gold, he expressed his concerns about your team playing hurt. Pero sabi nga niya, titiisin na dapat yan. Tiisin na dapat kasi syempre, sabi mo nga, diba, throw it all out of the window. Ganun naman pag playoffs, wala nang sakit-sakit, bato mo na lahat ng numbers ng elimination, just leave it all on the floor, and you know this very well as a player yourself, na indahin mo na lang, tiisin mo dahil ilang games na lang para manalo tayo ng kampyonato ulit. Ano muna yung latest dun sa injury report? I'm sure everybody's gonna play, pero Coach, can you give us an update kung okay lang, kung sino yung hindi 100%, kung kamusta ang status report ng lalo na nung yung may mga iniindang injury from your team?
No, it's not okay. Everybody's 100%. Everybody's gonna play.
Akala mo
Everybody's
magkaibigan tayo.
100%.
So everybody's gonna play, everybody is 100%. JD Kagulangan okay? Carl Tamayo okay?
I tell you, sabi mo nga, obviously, as a former athlete, di ba? Kahit na nakasaklay pa tong mga to, dahil lalo na ngayon, Final Four pa, sigurado ako maglalaro tong mga to. So, but you know, kidding aside,
Yes.
I think what's important, aside from the physical, is the mental. You know, Coach Gold always emphasizes that our hearts and our minds, it has to be 100%, nothing more, nothing less. Especially at this point of the season, you're near the finish line in a sense, but that finish line is not going to present itself, or kumbaga, we're going to have to work for that. And Coach Gold, since the start of the season, has been consistent in terms of not being result oriented, but sticking with the process. And even up to today, that we're approaching the Final Four, it's still a process for us as a team, you know, continuing to build up until we see that finish line. Mm-hmm. And, you know, Lord willing, and hopefully we would cross that finish line.
Well, Coach, stay where you are. Mahaba-haba pa pag-usapan natin dito. Wala ka naman nagagawin, tapos na yung meeting mo. Relax ka lang muna dyan. Balikan kita. Marami pa tayong pag-uusapan. Assistant Coach Christian Luanzon of the UP Fighting Maroons will still be with us after the break. And Coach Chris and I are talking about that Final Four matchup between UP and NU later today in Season 85 of your UAAP. Sports S will be right back. Stay tuned only here at the CNN Philippines. Welcome back to Sports Desk, only here on CNN Philippines. Our top story today, the Final Four in UAAP Season 85 is about to begin. Defending champs, the UP Fighting Maroons will face the NU Bulldogs, while the Ateneo Blue Eagles will take on the Adamson Soaring Falcons also today at the Big Dome. UP Assistant Coach Christian Luanzon is here on the show live via Zoom. Nakakamiss din kausap talaga itong si Coach Christian. Dati, nag-a-analyze lahat. Gilas, PBA, UAAP. Ngayon, wala na. Dahil assistant coach na si UP. Pero okay lang. Coach, eto, gusto kong tanungin kanina, pero pag-usapan natin si Malik. Kasi grabe, Malik's one of the nicest foreign student players I've met. When you brought him here, I remember after winning the title. And he's just very hardworking. He's a very nice kid. And he's very, kumbaga, walang attitude. Siya finals MVP in Season 84. Ngayon, he's projected to be MVP in Season 85 and deservingly so. Good for him. But will that be good for the team? Wala bang concerns na, I know he's a good kid, but he might stray away. He might get distracted, if I can use that word, from the main goal, which is to win another championship, na baka, di ba, masyado siyang ma-overwhelm with that MVP award, if that's the case. What do you think, Coach?
A couple things. First, I miss you too. Second, he's not a kid anymore. He's a man. Ang 7 foot. He's a 7 foot agile man, and he's a sprinter.
Yes.
Third, I don't think it's a concern, because even after winning the finals MVP, you obviously last season ng 84, and for him to win the season 85 MVP, I think speaks for itself. I think ang pinakamaganda pa ron, I'm not even sure, I just have to ask him, but I'm not even sure if this was parang a personal goal of his coming into the season.
Okay.
And I think that's a good thing, because sometimes, as a player, it's not that it's not good to have yung mga individual goals, but I think it shows that Malik, as a system player, he played through our system, being our defensive anchor and improving offensively, and just sticking to the process of what we want to what we want to build all throughout the season. And then as he was gathering momentum, especially when we went on that little winning streak that we had nung midway ng season, siguro dun lang niya na-realize na, hey, I got a chance at this. But at the same time, he was still playing within our system.
Good.
And whether it comes or not, you know, it would have been okay for him. And I guess nandito rin yung parang imprint ni Coach Gold, no?
Yeah.
Because if you remember, when we were with the NU Bulldogs team, our last championship, it was the same thing. It was the same thing. You know, we were the number one team, I believe, during that time in the high school ranks. But none of them, you know, Tamayo, Kiambao, Abadjano, Alarcon, none of them, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, were in the Mythical Five. Kiambao won MVP.
Yeah.
And then Tamayo won Finals MVP. My point is, this is something that Coach Gold is not really concerned of. Kumbaga parang, pag dumating, thank you. Pag hindi dumating, it's always about the team. It's always about the team. And si Malik, he's on the same page with that. Yeah. And I think yung performance from Finals MVP to MVP speaks for itself.
Well, kailangan ko i-double check. Kailangan natin i-double check kay Pong Ducanes yung sinabi mong ano. Napaisip din ako doon. Sabi ko, that's actually intriguing. That's very intriguing. Gusto ko din pag-usapan ngayon, Coach, si Maymay. Of course, JD Kagulangan, one of your very unselfish players. He's just quiet, sunod lang. He's just a loyal soldier. He missed yung first round encounter against NU where you guys lost. Then bumalik si Maymay sa second round. You won. He had 4 points, 5 assists in that game in 16 minutes. How crucial will, because we, of course, pag sinabi Kagulangan, naalala dyan yung game-winning shot from Game 3 against Ateneo. But iba yung presence kasi nung Maymay. With all due respect to Terence Forte and all the pieces you have on your team, but iba pa rin talaga yung Maymay. Iba mag-isip, iba yung connection niya with Coach Gold, with you guys, yung coaching staff. How crucial yung presence ni Maymay, ni JD Kagulangan, will be in this series against NU, with the guards that NU has at Coach Jeff's disposal?
Well, it doesn't matter how big of a ship you have if you don't have the right person to steer that. And obviously, si Maymay, he brings stability to our team. You know, and you know, you mentioned his name, credit si Terence Fortea for stepping up big time those first few weeks, especially nung wala si Maymay, because those are really big shoes to fill.
Oh yeah.
But si Maymay, even though we were winning games without him, he was definitely missed, no? And I think the first game when he came back, that's when people really saw his importance to the team. You know, I think sometimes the parang, in a sense, parang the detriment of parang hitting a winning shot is that parang it overshadows what you can really do as a player. And obviously that winning shot last season was so big for us, was so big obviously for our championship, for the community. But that shot, doesn't define Maymay Kagulangan itself. You know, si Maymay, he's a leader on the court. He's a stability to the team, as I mentioned. And just he impacts the game in so many ways. Like he could have 5 points, but he could control the game. From the first minute, from the tip up to the last second, whether it's hitting a winning shot or making a stop, or just by simply, orchestrating yung opensa namin sa loob. So, importante siya to our success.
Tama. Kasi kontrolado niya. The way he plays at his own pace. How about Carl Tamayo? He was apparently too eager in that first game against NU. 17 points, 5 of 13 from the field, 11 boards. He adjusted well in the second round against NU, which you guys won. Carl may just have scored 8 there, but 4 of which back-to-back jumpers. The dying minutes of that game that really basically doused the cold water sa attempted rally ng NU. Anong klaseng Carl Tamayo? Dahil ayaw mo sagutin yung injury status ni Carl. Pero anong klaseng Carl Tamayo ang pwede natin makita mamaya? Will it be that beast mode, Carl Tamayo, or the, okay lang, Carl, and then pag kailangan nyo ako, dun ako babanat?
Oh, Carl is an ultimate competitor. Kahit na pilay, kahit na may sakit, I'm not even talking about a game. In practice, he would be there. He would be the first guy to be there. And sila ni Harold, ni Jerry, yung naglalaban dyan, ni Jerry Abadjano. First guys to be in, last guy to leave. His work ethic, the way he prepares is there, although still a lot to improve on. But si Carl, what you like about Carl is that he's not always about the numbers. I think the season, especially for those who followed our games, it speaks for itself. There were games wherein, Coach Gold had to sit him even in the crucial stretches of the game, the last quarter, because he wasn't playing well. There were games wherein we had to put him in even though he was not 100%. I believe that was first round against USC, and even though in the first round, the first 5 games, he was one of the leading candidates ng MVP, ng MVP race. That was not really a concern for him because it was all about the team for him. So my point is, si Carl, he's gonna compete. He's gonna play hard. And it's always about team first, no?
Yeah.
Pagdating kay Carl. And that's always big, especially how big of a player he is, not only of his size, but because kung sino na siya ngayon. And I think that has a lot to do with his relationship with Coach Gold. He's been with us, with our coaching staff, for more than a decade now. When he started in Cebu, when we were still in Adamson, and I think those roots are a big part of his success and our success as a team.
Coach, maraming salamat. Kulang talagang ilang minuto pa with you. Kailangan 1 hour with Christian Luanzon. That's a good name for a show, by the way. And by the way, sabi nung producer ko...
I'm gonna charge you next time. It's overtime.
Okay. Pwedeng, alam mo, sabi nung producer, pwedeng batang UB Brown tong si Christian Luanzon. We miss having you on the show. Hopefully, we can have you pag off-season as an analyst. Thank you so much. Good luck later. Regards to the family. That was Coach Christian Luanzon, assistant coach of the UP Fighting Maroons, as they take on the NU Bulldogs later today in UAAP Season 85 in the Final Four.